in our business, it's one thing for Terry to be arm waving, saying, "Hey, what a great project I've got, and it's worth $1 billion," and blah blah blah. It's another thing if an independent analyst says, "Hey, we've looked at the data here, and here's our version of the truth." Okay. That's in our business called NI 43101s or PEAs, where independent engineering firms sign off on what you've got on the ground. So, we've always been very transparent. We put all our data out there so we know how the math will work. But it's important for the public to get that. So we were planning to do this the end of next year. I think we would have a full year to drill even more of it to make it even bigger. But the disconnect is so severe in our stock right now that we've moved this up. So we're going to deliver our MRE in July of this year. We think that'll be really impactful. And then we'll produce the PEA in December. So by moving those timelines up, now all of a sudden I'm saying to these fund managers or high net worth individuals, I'm saying, do the math yourself, my friend, because you can see right now this is trading at a crazy bargain.
So you're currently at roughly around 290 mil market cap right now, and your goal, which we discussed, is to get to 1 billion market cap. You mentioned a few points there, but what would you say are the biggest 3 or 4 moves that you can make to get to that point in as efficient way as possible?
Yeah, I think the one I think we changed the narrative so that we could address the questions that weren't probably being answered adequately in the investor mindset. Question about metallurgy, the question about economic robustness in terms of is it big enough to be mined, and whether or not how capital intensive it would be. So address those problems head on, so people say, okay, I think that if those are valid answers, I now don't have a problem with that. So that's one. Two, we in mining, everything basically runs with the value in the ground. So how do you increase value in the ground? Well, you find more of it, you extract more of it, or the commodity itself goes up. So in our case, we're seeing all three happen at once, but the find more of it is by releasing more assays. So we've got still, we're in the midst of a 100,000 meter drill program. We've got 40 holes that are in various states of being delivered. So next week, like April, I think probably on April 30th, we'll have our next release out. We've basically told in our last release that we think we've had some spectacular holes along the way. We're expecting to deliver more on those. So I think, but delivering great assays will definitely help reactivate. So we expect more of that to come. And then I think the movement to deliver the social proof on the MRE and the PEA is going to really sort of accelerate the turn. And then finally, we've been looking at listing in the main markets in the United States, either in the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. So we pushed that out into the fall so we could deliver the MRE first, so we could get the stock up. But that'll be a catalytic moment too, because it's interesting that the big U.S. multi-strat funds are very, very excited about investing in mining now. So, but we got to get there into their universe.